So, this video wasn't the incredibly difficult challenge run I was originally going to release today. That one is still in the works. I am not joking when I say it's truly a nightmare. I'm serious. It's taking a while. So instead, I decided to make this challenge run here, which was actually requested by Light Angel 123 in my Discord server. Link is on screen now and in the description if you want to join and suggest your own challenges. This challenge involves my main, Himiko Toga, and her special action, which gives you the ability to copy other people's appearances and quirk skills. Normally, you would use this as a misdirection or combat strategy, typically for cooldown resets, but what if you only fought using other people's identities? Could you still win? Stick with me today as we figure out, can you win a game of My Hero Ultra Rumble as an identity thief? The rules for this run are pretty simple. The only damage I am allowed to deal must come from transformations. The only part of Toga's base kit that I am allowed to use is special action, and this includes the stab on downed players. If I disallowed that, this would just become another pacifist run. I am allowed to use quirk skills for movement, so long as they don't hurt a hair on anyone's head. We don't want to get caught doing violence after all. The only exception to this is the use of Gamma on downed players, as that doesn't count towards damage dealt in the counter at the top of the screen. And with all that being said, let's go. Our first match started off kind of awkwardly, as you could probably tell. See, because Toga copies the quirk skill level of whoever's blood she drinks, there's no point in leveling any of my own skills besides Gamma to level 4, just to get the third grapple. This essentially meant that my first order of business was to wait out this fight here until someone got downed. Turns out the bot Endeavor actually managed to down the bot Aizawa, so I tried to grab his blood. He got fired on with a prominence burn, which really scared me for a moment, because I needed his transformation in order to not be entirely helpless in this situation. Luckily, he survived right up until I stuck him in the back and finally got my first offense of the match. Now, I'm certainly no expert with Aizawa, but due to my time playing alongside Phantom Thief, I picked up a few tricks on our staring contest champion here. Unfortunately, those tricks weren't quite enough to secure a KO on this Assault Kirishima in time, forcing me to instantly start Elden Ringing my way out of the situation as best I could. Luckily, I managed to get away, healing up a small portion of my shield while trying to figure out how to proceed next. I thought I saw Bakugo fighting someone over by the river, but turns out he was just headed to the item box I just passed. So when I turned around and saw him open it, I instantly hid behind a truck to see whether him or the Ochaku that just appeared would go down in their fight. Unfortunately, I lost sight of them both and had to relocate, which meant I was essentially lost. I had no means by which to defend myself, only to run if I were jumped. And that thought loomed over me as I ran forward with absolutely no idea or plan as to how to get more blood. I went ahead and made my way towards this item box, thinking I was probably going to have to storm stall again, which I should really need to start including a no storm stalling rule in some of these runs. But I was hoping there'd be a fight nearby, but I wasn't quite so lucky, unfortunately. At least I wasn't seeing a fight right up until Moby Dickface over here tried to pull whatever the hell this stunt was, interrupting my item box opening and drawing a Bakugo's attention over towards me. I tried to escape and draw him away from the box so that I could open it, but Bakugo seemed to really insist upon staying by it, opening me up to a Gamma as soon as I landed. I then retreated, hoping to loot steal once he'd opened the box, but he stopped opening the box and left due to the storm moving in. This prompted me to start running away from the storm as well, as, let's be honest, I have about as much health as All Might does in his skeleton form. I ran around aimlessly for a bit, trying to grab more healing items, but lo and behold, I run right back into the Mad Bomber himself. I managed to use my movement to misdirect him and get away, allowing me to heal with him only a couple meters away, being none the wiser. At this point, I realized I only had two chances of winning, either catching one of these players while they're downed, or sneaking the box here to storm stall. Now, I thought for sure I'd have to sneak the box, but I decided to wait just in case. You never know what's going to happen, especially in a game like this. I'm glad I waited because Bakugo managed to down the Ochako, meaning I could get in and... Hey, did you know that Toga's special action on downed players has a hitbox that can hit other nearby players? You didn't? Well, neither did I, and I failed this challenge. I gave it another shot, of course, and hoped for the best this time. I hope for the best every time, but this was definitely worthy of hoping for good luck, since any kind of offense relied entirely on being in the right place at the right time. I ended up starting off similarly to last time since I got in a lucky bloodsucker on Aizawa, but unfortunately no bots spawned close enough to me to give me an early edge. So I ended up looting for a bit as I wanted to have enough healing to be able to survive being mercilessly pummeled by the rest of the lobby for the criminal act of having a heartbeat. I ended up running into a Mount Lady, which honestly surprised me since stealth wasn't usually her area of expertise. I guess she'd been binge playing through the Metal Gear series and somehow figured out how to disguise her incredibly obvious suit into the wall here. Now, obviously, I wanted absolutely no kind of trouble at all as I couldn't fight back without a transformation, so I retreated immediately while looking over my shoulder to see if a giant-sized kick was coming my way, but I didn't see her follow me. That was a tad surprising, honestly. I just ended up looting a bit more, as you can never have too much healing in this game. I started walking by a mall looking at all the cute little stores, when suddenly I realized I could get some goodies to fill my designer bag that I got earlier in the match. So I headed over towards the item box, started opening it, and got a lot of super tasty drinks. I mean, they weren't blood, which I really, really wanted right about now, but they'd still come in handy. I saw Kirishima go down in this fight, and I wanted his blood so badly, but Dobby was being mean today, and finished him off before I could grab a snack. So I had to retreat while he and Tomura fought it out, but then a couple of no-good heroes showed up. They were trying to stop me from having any blood. But they weren't going to stop me. No, they couldn't stop me, because I saw one of them finally get downed. This was it. I couldn't wait. I finally got a drink from this Mount Lady, and I started trying to down this Ida. It didn't go well, though, because I barely got anything done before Shinso decided to attack me from behind. It's just like those heroes to talk about fairness and justice and stab someone in the back. I wasn't about to share the same fate as Jean, so I retreated to look for a better opportunity to engage. I ended up running into another Mii that looked like a Zuko, he's still my number one, and was just a tad too late to interrupt with a special action. I guess I can't become him anymore. I did end up grabbing a few green pots on the ground before being attacked by this coward Shinso again. That meant I had to run, since I couldn't hurt him right now. I ended up tracking him down as he was down by the Ida, but Shigaraki came up from behind me to stop me from getting caught. That Tomura, always looking out for me. So I took his advice and retreated again, which was a great call since that filthy hero turned around and attacked us. I ended up healing again, getting a couple more green pots, and watching the number of people in the match go down bit by bit. I also apparently gained some kind of X-ray vision quirk from that creepy All For One guy, because I could see straight through this wall and was watching both Tomura and Ida as they went by. I retreated to the roof of the UA building where I saw Tomura run by. I wanted to say hi, but I knew he'd get mad at me if I got seen now, so I stayed hidden. Isn't he just the best boss ever? But then I saw the Ida down Tomura. I hesitated since I had my orders, but I just couldn't leave him behind like this. I couldn't save him either, though, so I took just a little drink. Becoming Tomura meant that I could now attack the Ida to try and avenge him. But of course the so-called hero would run away, and I felt Tomura slipping away. That was it. I couldn't get any more blood safely. There was only one way to win this now. I had to stay out of sight because if that Ida caught me, I was done for. I wouldn't be able to get away, and I'd end up just like Jean. Also, I found the super fun bouncy walkway. But then, as the storm was moving, one of the heroes knocked Ida out. I still didn't trust him, though, because I learned my lesson from Hawks. Never trust a hero. I couldn't find the Ida, though, which meant I couldn't attack the Kirishima. I had to commit to my original plan of storm stalling because there was no more blood to get. I managed to somehow sneak the final box as Kirishima was busy going to the top of UA. However, I knew that as soon as he couldn't see it on his map anymore, he'd know where I was. This meant I had to be fast. At least, that's what I thought. Apparently, he wasn't paying a sliver of attention to his map because he didn't even react to the box being opened. I literally had the entire room to myself for the rest of the match. Just to reiterate, this was Final Circle, and he didn't even bother to try looking for me. I guess maybe he didn't think I could last out in the storm? I actually thought I'd lost here, to be honest. The timing of this level 6 support card running out was terrible, and it cost me a ton of stall time. Turns out, though, the Kirishima wasn't quite as prepared as he thought he was, meaning he got KO'd before I did, proving that yes, you can win a game of My Hero Ultra Rumble as an identity thief. This was one of probably my favorite challenge runs to record, just because it tested my knowledge on when to engage and when to stay back with Toga. This tested quite a lot of my muscle memory just because I'm barely used to just using Gamma and getting blood that way. Like in a combo, typically, I'll typically use like a Beta Alpha and then Gamma combo on Rapid Toga. So trying to get blood in ways that's a lot more patient and hidden and whatnot really brought me back to my Tech Toga days. Um, just because I wasn't always able to hit that one shot you used to have on Tech Toga's Gamma. So, it really did put a whole new spin on this particular type of challenge. But I appreciate each and every one of you for popping by, and I hope to see you in the next one. Make sure to join the Discord. Links in the description. And with that, I will see you next time. Take care.